All right, today we're gonna go over the Stairmaster. Stairmaster is a really powerful and easily accessible tool that we can use to get into our back chain, work on our traveling pattern. Super powerful because we can stay on the Stairmaster for a long time and we can also modify the intensity. Already when we're on the Stairmaster, because it's gonna be on an uphill, it's gonna bias us to the back chain. So we're gonna be biased to the back chain. What I really recommend when you first start learning this is you put your hands on the handlebar in front of you and we push our hips back. Once we push our hips back, I'm gonna take a step on the ball of my foot on the outside and I'm gonna step on the edge so my heel has a place to drop. That's gonna get me a little calf raise and a strong foot. Once I get into the backside, take a step with my right, I'm gonna feel my glute. I'm gonna wanna step, feel my left glute, and we're gonna go right to left. So we're working on loading right glute, loading left glute. Once I find the glutes, then I'm gonna be working my out to in pressure, out to in transfer of back chain. So I'm gonna take a step, I'm gonna load the right side. I should be able to elevate this. I'm gonna keep loading the right and then step to the left. Keep loading to the left, step to the left. So beginner looks kind of like this, and you can see this pace that I'm going, it's not fast. Beginner looks like this. We're going out to in, out to in, out to in. You'll notice a little hip thrust each time we do that. That means we're losing the back chain. So I want you to slow it down as slow as you can. Slow, 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 slow. We're gonna take a step. And I'm gonna continue loading, so pulling the hip back. Continue pulling the hip back, continue pulling the hip back as I slowly corner the opposite side and come through. Both my kneecaps point to the right, chest points to the right, both kneecaps point to the left, chest points to the left. I'm still stepping with straight feet. But notice how I'm continuing this bow as I step up. I'm gonna use that bow, pulling the hip back to roll into my next step. Roll into my next step. So notice how the level of my hips never changes. I stay in this level. Once I step down, good. So I'm in my right side, pulling right hip back, pulling right hip back, pulling left load, and then right. Two kneecaps in the sternum. My hands here for support, but I should be able to do this eventually without hands. Loading back, going here. It's more important that we get the quality of movement over working at an intensity. If you're doing this right, this is gonna be pretty intense here. Loading that right side, toe off corner. Loading the left toe off into the right hip, into the left. My head floats all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. This is very different than, this is the normal Stairmaster that we see. Someone hangs on, hips are thrusted forward, just going boom, boom, no corners, spine straight, neutral, just loading my quads. Maybe I get a little glute pump, but it's wrecking my locomotive pattern. Okay, I can't really take this uphill climbing to, like, if I actually went on a hike, if I actually went up a hill, I'm gonna have to learn how to do this. So we slow it down like crazy, find a pace that works for you. Just getting the ball of my foot, heels are off, roll, roll, roll. I'm not even really thinking about the corner, I'm thinking about the opening load. Everything opens on the step. Boom. Once you get really good with this, then it can look a little more snaky. And we can always go even more with the hips back. Use the down to really elongate the legs. Okay, but the Stairmaster, we should be working, for a long time on the Stairmaster. Work up to 20, 30, 40 minutes, slow pace. We're working the out to in pressure, getting into that bow and staying into it all the way. It kind of looks like this position.